they're here tonight. Two of the featured dancers in the film. Just a few short years after this film was released in 1954, went on to greater renown. One as Fred Astaire's dance partner in numerous television specials in the late 1950s and early 60s, and one as the Oscar-winning star of West Side Story. So please help me welcome the fabulous Barrie Chase and Chakiris. Well, they can see you, that's what matters. I'm no mathematician. I cannot believe this film was 71 years ago.
Yeah, I can believe it.
I would love to know from both of you what was going on in your professional lives at the time. You had both done Call Me Madam together.
Oh my God, yes.
You had,
You weren't in that. You weren't one of the guys?
I was not coming out.
why does IMDb say you are? This is a problem. Oh, and George, I want to remind you to use that. And but you had done Gentlemen Who Prefer Blondes though at this point, right? Were you each? How were you feeling about the way things were going? You know, in the
It was work. How would I? Very mixed because some choreographers were great and some were really bad. But you know, you paid the bills.
Right.
How did you feel, George?
Well, listen,
Did you have any feelings?
When I look back on those years of dancing in the chorus, I absolutely loved it.
Did you?
We got to work with wonderful people on some of the great musicals. I mean, come on. And if you wanted to be in that world, we were there.
Yeah. Well, I can't say I always liked it.
Why?
Boring, lots of time. You were on for the length of the movie then. You were.
Yeah.
They hired you in the beginning and they could use you as a fill-in if they needed. And my voice is gone, right? Among other things, right? Anyway. So it was boring. You were a lot of sitting and doing nothing. And if you were fortunate to have a good choreographer, like Jack, who choreographed things for his own amusement.
Jack Cole.
Yeah. And he would just keep himself amused. So there was a lot to learn there. But if you there were a lot of choreographers that were just, they were there.
George, as featured dancers in a lot of films, were you all keeping an eye on, oh, what Broadway show is a hit? What are they gonna make into a movie next? Or did someone just tell you, oh, Brigadoon is now a movie and you should go out for it? Or were you actively trying to find out what was gonna be produced?
I'll let you go with that, but if I may, yeah.
Well, there was no place to actively find anything out. Maybe the trades, but you found out after the fact. So there was a thing called central casting, and they would call you. I don't know if you called them, I didn't, but you might have been able to call them, I don't know. But they would send you on a call, an audition call. And the good choreographers knew basically the dancers that they wanted to hire. They had their own little group. So it was very hard to penetrate that. And yes, what? Closer, closer, closer. I was a victim on opening night out there, couldn't hear a thing. But, yeah, so there was a guy casting at Metro, who was very kind to me and got me on the Jack Cole thing, which is a clothes and so forth. But I don't, do you recall ever trying to find anything out? You didn't even know what the movie was about when you went to audition for it.
The kids, the word always got around. The kids always knew what was
The gypsies?
going on. They always knew what was going on.
I didn't.
And we knew when auditions would take place and so on. So, if you were lucky, you could go audition. If you were
I like Maisie or something. Flotsam and Jetsam, I guess. I don't know.
But some really amazing, really wonderful things happened in those days. I mean, with the kids, you know. Yeah.
What?
This one has nothing to do, I won't bother you with this one, it has nothing to do, oh, okay.
Yeah.
When Judy Garland did Stars Born.
Yeah, we're not interested in any Judy Garland.
Okay. They never wanted us to know when there was a preview. They wanted real people.
Yeah, that's true.
But we always found out. So there was a preview of Stars Born out in the valley somewhere.
Yeah.
And we all got there. I found my seat. And for some reason, I guess I got out of my seat and went to the lobby to I guess get popcorn or something. And by this time, the lobby was empty, except Judy Garland had just arrived in the lobby. So can you imagine the kids or anybody watching The Star is Born with Judy Garland in the house? Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Barrie, am I right? I've already been wrong about Call Me Madam, so I'm almost afraid to ask. Am I right that when you auditioned for Brigadoon, because Gene Kelly was the choreographer, you auditioned for Gene?
Yes, I did.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the way I felt too. Yeah, I did. He got it in his head. I was told that he wanted girls to be able to say lines if needed. So he gave the audition himself, and you had to read from the script, and then he would do a combination and do that and so forth. So I can't remember if it was 2 or 4 girls that got hired for that. I never did any lines, and I never did anything special, but he did say he wanted to do a test at the end of the film. Yeah, that was amazing. But the test involved seeing Arthur Freed. That was not so good.
Yeah.
That was bad. So I left his office and went back to rehearsal, and about a week later, I got another call from Arthur Freed to discuss the test. What did I want to do dramatically, what blah, blah, blah. I went back thinking, oh good, okay. No, not so okay. So Gene came up to me, Minnelli was the director, and they were going to shoot it at the end of the filming, and said, well, Barrie, I've got to go to London for invitation to the dance. Okay, kid, take care. That was the end of that. But life was good to me, and other things happened.
I'm sorry you went through that. I'm sorry that you felt any pressure by anyone to do anything that you didn't want to do.
It was not uncommon. And we didn't have the, you either acquiesced or you left. That was your choice.
George, do you have memories of the audition process for this? I mean, I know we're talking 70 years ago. Did the men also audition for Gene Kelly himself?
I honestly don't remember. It was
Too long ago.
A cattle call, I suppose.
Yeah.
A lot of us there auditioning, and there were quite a few of us selected because they needed quite a few people for the town square number and so on. But later in the film, and I don't remember how this happened, that there's the sword dance, which is done by Hugh Lang, who is a
Hugh,
huge
yes.
ballet star.
Yeah.
And he
He's
plays
good.
Harry Beaton, doesn't he? Yes. Okay, the sword dance. Harry Beaton is in the middle, and Gene Kelly staged it. So there were 4 dancers around Gene Kelly to form a square, doing the sword dance, and each of us had two swords, which were laid across each other in front of us, and you dance around the swords.
In and out.
So you're dancing on the balls of your feet endlessly. And the thing I do remember,
Pain.
we all got serious, and they're very painful, shin splints. But Gene, and this is one of the things I remember about Gene, how kind he was. He was great. He got orange. He did everything he could to help us feel better.
Oh, that's
He was
nice.
darling. He was just darling. Yeah.
I'd be curious to know, I mean, it upsets me how many times I'm seeing a classic film or researching a classic film and how much work there is by actors and performers that's uncredited.
Yeah.
I mean, especially African-American actors and actresses, it's just shocking. So in this film, you're featured dancers, both of you, but uncredited. Obviously, you went on to have many
I
credits.
was a chorus. I never was featured in anything in
But
Brigadoon.
did it upset you, though, to not have a credit, or was that just the
Oh,
understanding?
as a chorus actor, you know, well, golly, if you drive the car or you get a sandwich or whatever, you get credit today. I have one thing I really don't, I love Turner Classic. I mean, I'm privileged to have seen things because of Turner Classic that I would never, ever been able to see. So I'm very grateful.
There's a butt coming on here.
Yes, but why do credits go by, and I don't think it's my age, so fast? I try to read them. You know, I like to certain actor or something, I want to see.
Well, we don't speed them up. I mean, other
No,
channels,
you
they go,
don't.
go, go, go.
Yeah, they
But
go by.
movies just didn't have credits. End
Oh, the
credits.
old ones are great, they're slow. You can actually have that same problem? Just me.
I would love to know, before we watch the movie, you two have known each other for
Ever.
ever. And it's just so fun to be backstage with you while you were reuniting
We danced together, actually. George reminded me
in
that we danced together.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
in a film or
I
just in
didn't
life?
realize it. I might have, I had forgotten it.
Should I tell what was
Sure,
great?
go ahead.
You know, there was, at that time, there was CinemaScope and VistaVision, Paramount was doing VistaVision. And they used Barrie and me.
We were the two out of a cattle call.
Barrie looking and me in black tights. Anyway,
They
so
wanted
we
a
did
valley
test-
pot to do it.
they photographed us doing these tests for comparing the two techniques, I suppose. Yeah.
No, it was just ballet, and I remember.
No, the VistaVision and the
Yes,
CinemaScope.
we did a ballet, something.
Yeah, no, we
Yeah.
did, yeah,
Yeah.
I remember it. Once he told me, I remembered it.
We gotta find this
You
footage.
came over to me, you came over to me and you said, we had to do improvise, no choreographer, how to do it, two people dancing. So I said, he said, I don't know, wait, blah, 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 blah. I said, you know what, George? We'll do finger pirouettes. All you have to do is stand there, you know, and I hold on to the finger, and I go around and I turn, I'll go in an arabesque, because they want to see lines, they want to, you know, illustrate. You remember that?
Yeah.
So I said, don't worry about a thing, I'll just hold onto your finger and you just stand there and I'll spin and out goes the leg and it's done. That's what we did.
I kind of didn't know what I was doing there. I was nervous.
Yeah, you were very nervous, very nervous, yes. I think you knew more than you thought you knew, but you didn't think you knew too much. But you did.
I would love to know, for each of you, what you each admire the most about the other one, whether it has to do with his or her dancing or him or her as a person.
Ooh, that's a tough one, huh? I love George. He's a terrific guy. And he's a terrific dancer. So there you go.
Barrie and I were also in a movie called White Christmas.
Oh, God.
And she didn't dance in that.
No.
But,
Meow.
but she was gorgeous, she was funny, she was supposed to be funny, and she was very funny. But, and you know, in those days, we all, lots of dances, we all knew each other, where we saw each other dance and so on. But I have to tell you that Barrie Chase, as a dancer, was far ahead of anyone else in the crowd. She was.
For proof, search Barrie Chase Fred Astaire on YouTube. You'll see exactly what George is talking about. What a pleasure it is to be with the two of you. Thank you so much for being with us. Barrie Chase and George Chakiris. Thank you so much. And enjoy Brigadoon.